right, my tea friends, how are you? I am back on my raw Puer. This one is WHITE2TEA. They mad. This one is another blend. Don't say much about where it's from or what it is, but just a blend that they put together. 2023 Young Raw Puer. Really excited about this one. Cold brew color is looking really nice. This is exactly what I like to see in a raw Puer, as far as a young raw Puer anyway, as far as color. So, okay. So, number one, I used a lot of shake. They were really good about giving me a nice, chunk of the cake or whatever. But there's a lot of shake in this thing. But that also means getting a lot of flavor out of it. And it does live up to the descriptor on the website. Another important thing to note, this is $95 a cake. Again, a large part of the reason why I wanted to try out this particular vendor. And I love the fact that they got these little cool things on the back of the sample pack. This one has a crossword puzzle without an answer key, which is even better because I love crossword puzzles. And something like this, I'm gonna keep, you know what I'm saying? Even when the tea is done, I'm gonna keep this, and I'm going to enjoy going through here and crossing off what I think are some letters: up, down, sideways, backwards, diagonal, whatever. I'm already seeing a couple words here that may work out. So anyway, really excited about that. Oh, I did not say. So it lives up to its descriptor because it is different. It is different. This is star anise. Star anise, no question about it. That's exactly what this flavor is. There's no getting around it. This is the cake that they sent me. Well, not cake, but you know what I mean. It's a piece of the cake, which I really love seeing that. You know what I mean? I love seeing the big buds, the big pieces. That's really nice, really nice. So really sweet for the flavor. I don't smell any star anise, but the cold brew, definitely star anise. Very drying, sweet, very sweet. And I'll say it's a sugar sweetness. There's no fruits in there. Like I said before, this is straight up Tamiflu. You know what I'm saying? This is star anise. And it really makes me smile, makes me happy. I really enjoying this so far. And like I said, $95 a cake already, I think is more than worth it, because this is going to be something different. It's definitely not like my favorite young SHENG at all, but it's really cool, I think, to have, just because it's different. And $95 for 200 grams. It's almost worth getting it just for fun, Yeah, sugar sweetness on a dry leaf, but not much else. If I get anything out of this beyond what I've already experienced in the cold brew, I mean, $95 I think is a real steal. really is. I'm gonna wash this pretty good because I'm gonna try to break that cake up. It's not like super compact. Like I'm already, yeah, it's already breaking up now, just on the rinse. Yeah, young SHENG. It's very green, typical raw Puer aroma coming off those wet leaves, and really looking forward to playing around with the brewing parameters as well, because like I said, the dry leaf, very sweet, the wet leaf, very green, and so I'm going to be trying to pull that sweet sour anise quality out of this hot brew, if at all possible, because I know it's there. And that's one of the things I love about tea, and more specifically Puer, are those changing tastes and aromas depending on how you brew it. And it has a very lovely green tea aroma. Not smoky at all. I don't smell any sort of storage or anything like that. And I'm gonna give this one about 15 seconds, just real quick, and see what we get. Now, I do have to say, the cold brew, it does seem like if I took this out on a hot day and let it continue to brew, I think it's going to turn very green very fast. And that's not uncommon, but it is something that I look for specifically in a cold brew. Is I don't want it to change much. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to stay that sweet profile that it was when it was ice cold, without worrying about it, changing too much with temperature. Yeah, very green. And lots of material in the brew here. Quite a bit of activity. Can't see through this at all. It's not horrible though, I've definitely had worse, but yeah, 15 seconds I think is decent. And man, when I look down into this thing, you can't, I don't think the camera's gonna be able to pick it up, but there's a lot of material in this brew. My goodness. You're drinking leaf, no question about it. So no bitterness, no sweetness, definitely middle of the road, raw Puer. I'm not going to drink the remaining swallow because it is mostly plant material in there. I mean, it is it's just full of stuff. All right, I might actually rinse this out a little bit. So I think this can be overbrewed, but I'm gonna go ahead and risk doing that just to see what it turns into. Because like I said, 15 seconds, I didn't get any bitterness. So while I'm a little afraid of what like a full minute can do, I want to see what happens. I keep smelling to see if any of the sweetness is going to come back into the aroma. So far, it has not. All right, and we're going to try to do a minute. Anything more than that right now on a second steeping, I think it's going to be really just too much. Really curious to see what kind of bitterness this thing brings about. The website said that it was a blend, and so I imagine that it's going to be young and aged material, and that star anise flavor profile in the cold brew has to be, it just has to be kind of what they were looking at when deciding to blend this thing. And I have to imagine that star anise quality was part of the younger material. But who knows? Maybe it was the older material that has that. The leaves don't look much different. So maybe this isn't aged at all. Maybe it's all young SHENG. All right, so color has not changed much. The leaves are completely open after that second infusion. And I do see some broken leaves in there. So that's why there's, you know, a lot of material in the brew, because we have some broken leaves. Now, it's very possible that it is broken just you know, from breaking open the cake, because a lot of the leaves I see here are whole leaves, and they do look really good, but they are definitely older leaves, and most of them are not pairs. I found that one pair, but most of these are like single leaf. Yeah, so aroma's not changing. All right, so much darker. Again, you know, it's actually less, you know, maybe this is one of those cakes that, you know, maybe needs more than one washing to really get out all of the gunk, because there's less material in this one. Still, you know, quite a bit of activity, but less material. Okay, so there's the bitterness. It's not overpowering. But it is that like back of the tongue medicinal bitterness. Not my favorite. But, you know, it's a young SHENG. I mean, it's kind of what you want from a young SHENG. And yeah, again, just, you know, a lot of material in there. I mean, you were definitely eating quite a bit of plant with this one. Curious to see what the body sensation is going to be, or if there's one at all. So, you know, not terrible. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to lower this temperature and see if I can tease out any of the sweetness that that I found in the cold brew. And I keep going back to this thing. That's how much I like it. It's really nice, and I like star anise. Like, how do I explain this? Like, you won't catch me eating like star anise candy or anything like that. And you know, I'm not gonna drink any star anise tea, like, you know, to saying, like, I'm not gonna brew star anise in a cup and drink it. But star anise is one of those things. It's one of those herbs that, like, I understand its benefits. I understand the importance of it, and I think that star anise doesn't taste as bad to me as it does for a lot of other people. You know, I think it's interesting, and this one is actually star anise and sugar. Like, it's not just straight up star anise. This is like star anise and sugar, sweet. I really like it. I really do. Okay. So let's see what happens when we cool this down. A finger test. Yeah, that's about right. About 50 Celsius. Maybe a little cooler. All right. Gonna use quite a bit of water here, and we're gonna give it 60 seconds, because 60 seconds on the hot brew was not too much, so it's definitely not gonna be too much on the cold brew. And again, there's a lot of water in here too. I really enjoy seeing those green leaves in the water. Swimming around in there. Not changing color much. All right, and with the cooler water, still not getting any sweetness on the aroma. All right. Let's see what we get here. My goodness. Again, lots and lots and lots of material. My goodness. It is like, you know, I was thinking about this morning. Like, I really enjoy green smoothies for breakfast. And whenever I make them, you know, I just throw everything in the blender, so there's a lot of pulp. And so it really is like, you know, eating your breakfast, you know. And I know a lot of people don't necessarily care for pulp. Whenever I go to the smoothie stores, or I buy smoothies from the store, it's always like there's just no pulp. It's just all juice. And it is sweeter. It's easier to drink. But, you know, there's a lot of benefit and a lot of nutrients and stuff in the skin. And so I like that. And fiber. That's another thing, too. So yeah, so this particular tea cake, you are eating your tea. No question about it. There's a lot of material in this brew. It is a bit sweeter, no bitterness, of course, but I'm not getting all the sweetness that I get out of that cold brew. It really is just kind of, again, just middle of the road, raw SHENG, nothing very spectacular about it, which begs the question, and I'm gonna ask a tea producer this next opportunity, is how do they go about tasting through teas, because I've never seen a tea producer cold brew a leaf, and to say that this one has a distinct flavor profile, I don't get it in the high brew at all. Like, it just tastes like any old average raw Puer. There's nothing special about it, just young SHENG. But the cold brew, I definitely for sure taste a very distinct flavor profile that is not, I've never tasted in any other tea. Now, part of the reason why I do these videos is kind of a tea journal, to kind of keep track of things that I've tried and tasted in different tasting profiles. And I'm going to do a search to see if star anise comes up in any of my previous videos, and I don't believe it has. And if it has, I'll be surprised. But yeah, I mean, this is different, and I like it. So, They Mad 2023 Spring WHITE2TEA, and yeah, 95 bucks a cake. Can't go wrong. Personally, I prefer to cold brew this one. Otherwise, it's just run-of-the-mill young SHENG, which again isn't bad for a $95 cake. So, from me to you, I holla.